box we say, yeah. GBN we say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box we say. We'll be jamming here on a Thursday.
Well, here we are, Grenada. It's another Thursday evening. It's your boy JC, and welcome to another episode of Rock the Box. I'm telling you, the madness is about to begin, and I tell you why. Well, here's why. First things first. The West Indies, they have qualified for the Super 8. Hooray, hooray, hooray! If you're a big super fan. And let's talk about Hunter Biden. They say he's guilty. Well, he's guilty. What next? We're not part of the judicial system, but maybe we'll see what happens next. If you follow American politics with my boy Donald Trump, he spent he wasn't on the Capitol Hill today. He's been away for a while, but he went to remind them that it wasn't him. They say it was him, but it wasn't him. I'm not sure who it's going to be. But closer to home, here we are. We are on the inside. We're about to take this thing to 100,000 feet, crash the whole thing, and pretend that it never happened. Well, Kareem says, when I laugh, you laugh. Just like that. Just like that. And my dear old friend, he decided to take us on a little sultry visit down memory lane. Yeah, we're going to talk about Moss International, Moss, and more Moss. Yes, not Randy Moss if you're all Super Bowl, you're all football fan. But if Randy Moss shows up in the studio tonight, believe me, I'm singing touchdown. And then somebody says to me, he just want to whine on a little boomsy. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that on national TV, did I? I'm just hoping that the boys and girls, they get more passes in CXC, in the CP, what's it called? CSEC? CPE? What is it? Yeah, more passes at the CXC. We take this thing to about 100,000 feet. I have friends and family in the studio who doesn't want me to know that Ian is, oh sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that he's here. I have a wonderful lady, beauty beyond, oh my word. Calm yourself, Joe. Calm yourself. We're about to have ourselves some fun. Really have ourselves some fun. We're getting ready for Carnival, Spice Man's 2024, and it all promises to be grand. Bigger than you and I want to remind all the artists that the art form is bigger than you and I. So, we're going to have ourselves some fun, do what we have to do, and again, reminding you that you can follow all of your live. Yes, the ICC World Cup, you can follow the coverage live on GBN's Classic Radio. Anywhere else you've seen it, it's not my business, I can't help you, but it's on Classic Radio. My boy Kareem is on the inside. I haven't seen him in a while. I see he's in his young boy shirt today, and that's always good about you, Kareem. Every time I see you, you just seem to take me to another level. I see you, we share the same hairstyle, but you have your young boy shirt on today. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, I have to outdo you somewhere, you know.
Well, that was the plan to get me to laugh. That was the plan, because I told some of your principals that for every time you guys you make me laugh, I'm going to buy a ticket. But this was just a trial run.
Okay, so how many tickets you plan to buy?
You don't worry about that. But I'm loaded. I'm cashy.
Okay, great. Great.
So what have you been up to?
Well, nothing much. Same old. I mean, just here.
You up to the same old things?
The same old things. The same old good things. Yeah.
What?
Always.
I was just following your lead. It's always good to have you here, Master Charles.
Yes, my brother. Good night.
We brought you out of the woodworks tonight and brought you. Who forced you here? Be honest. Don't lie on national television. You're not cut to be a politician.
I came on my own. On my own, without anyone forcing me.
Nobody forced you.
No.
Nobody didn't say you have to do this or else.
No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. You willingly left the house.
Willingly.
Nobody coaxed you into it.
No.
Do this or else.
No, there was no or else.
There was no or else.
No.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just about to say that's what it took to get you out. Kudos to whoever did it. Yeah. History is a beautiful language, a beautiful subject, and I think the challenging thing about it is that most of us, we don't have an appreciation for history, and because we cannot appreciate our history, we have no appreciation for who we are as a people, because we cannot appreciate where we came from, how we got here. I understand you have loads of history. I mean, Moss International, we've known of. Before we do it, can you tell me what you know about Moss International?
Well, I know.
Not well.
I know for a fact, right? The creators of the Jambalasi, right? I know that as a fact, and I know a couple years ago there was a documentary done. Yeah, yes, I remember that. I think I was in that function some years ago, right?
Right.
With, you know, a lot of they document a lot of things about the band, right? And I've heard a lot of the music.
You heard a lot of music.
Yeah, I've heard some of the music, you know, and I know I go to some of them at breakfast and Angie is Agnes, she's there all the time. Yeah, so I you know.
What do you most remember Agnes for as a child, growing up? Let's see if we can take ourselves to the same place.
Boy, there is is a Christmas song that Moss sang, right? I can't remember it exactly, but I always remember that voice around that time singing that.
It was that soothing, sultry, melodious voice.
Yeah, really.
That
nice.
you always just want to go, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I must tell you, I'm young, right? You know.
Well, so depending on who you're speaking to. Depending on who you're speaking to, you're young.
Yeah. But I'm a baby when it comes to information about Moss International and so. I mean, when
one song comes to mind though.
Yeah.
Tell me what's it?
Run fast, your mother coming.
Boy, you can't say that national. I mean, because you know what happens there, Ricky? If by chance there's a slip of the tongue,
I know,
and he doesn't get this to say, "Run fast, your mother is coming." It just sounds all wrong.
Yes, and he's on national TV.
Yeah, I mean, when you want your children in other places, you're gonna afford to say that. Yeah, but Ricky, seriously, I mean, well done to the family. The family, I mean, it's such a rich history, and you don't hear the Charles family go around blowing conch shell and tooting their horns. That listen, we were the ones. I mean, we've celebrated a lot of our artists. We've celebrated them. We celebrated the likes of Tal Pri as the Jab ambassadors and the others that has made their landmark. But certainly when it comes to Moss International, before we talk about the group, let's talk about the family.
The family is deeply rooted in music, and we grew up in music. You know, my grandfather, my granduncle was a violinist in the national choir for many years, the National Folk Choir, as Uncle Raphael. My uncle, Martin, was one of the founding members of one of the early bands in Birch Grove, a band called Rhythm Riders, which is sort of a predecessor to Moss. So growing up, you had no choice but to be exposed to music. Our dad made sure we were exposed to music from a very early age. But and I can only tell you, it runs as a tradition in the family, going way back to our grandparents, and I guess probably before them. But certainly, I can speak of experience from my grandfather being a guitar player, my granduncle being the national violinist, my uncle being the saxophonist in the original Rhythm Riders, and other family members, cousins. So a strong history rooted in Birch Grove. For some reason, Birch Grove back then, the 50s, early 60s, was well known for music, and in particular, wind instrument, the horn players. Birch Grove, I don't know.
So a lot of horning took place up there.
You may want to put it that way. I don't know I can't tell you the real reason for it, but Birch Grove produced a lot of quality horn players, late 50s, early 60s, and I think it's a tradition that
and
probably
Birch
still
Grove
continues.
then went on to become, we're just talking about Birch Grove. He then went on to represent the big parish.
The big parish, yes. Yeah. But our roots are from the Birch Grove history. We can't get away from that.
You can't get away from that. So let's talk about the history of, the history of the band itself. For most of us as Grenadians, depending on which era you come from, you may probably. You ever went to one of their live performances? You used to run away and go to them?
I was too young.
You were too young to run away. But that's when you're supposed to run away. When you become a grown man, you don't need to run away again, Kareem. Yeah, you got to run away when you're young. Yeah.
So the band was started in 1974 on the initiative of my older brother Don, who was unfortunately has passed away, and throughout the entire period he was the band leader and arranger. He had, earlier years prior to Moss, had exposure to a couple of the startup bands, because back then, mid-70s, I would say almost every village in Grenada had its own live band. I mean, I can call names for you and keep counting and counting, but you think of names like Armand's 8 from Wanjaloo, in a Circle from Springs, Weevils from the Bolio Constantine area. I spoke of Rhythm Riders from Birch Grove. You had 3+2 from St. David's, West Hall area. You had Magnificent 6 from the Sutter, St. Patrick's area. And on, right?
Magnificent 6 came after 3+2.
We had 5. There was one time we had 5, 6, and 7. We had 3+2. I don't remember. 5, 6, 7, and 8. What was 5? I don't remember. 3+2 was 5. Magnificent 6. Armand's 8. I'm struggling to remember which one was at the 7, but we actually, at one stage performing live in Grenada, we had a band with 5, 6, 7, and 8. That was mid-70s, late 70s. So having a band from where we were at that time living in Grand Burrs, so having a band, and that was, Don played for a previous band which was started by an uncle of mine called Estrellos. Some of the stalwarts would know him, Aaron Jones, a really outstanding guitar player who went on to become the police bandmaster at one stage. So coming out of Estrellos, coming out of Generation Revival was the other band that Don played for. So mid-70s, 1974, the crisis, all the turmoil leading into independence. I think there were a couple of bands which sort of collapsed during that period. I speak of Generation Revivals. I think Harmonies. It was from Guav, and I'm struggling to remember all the names.
You would agree, because I remember having this similar conversation with the likes of the Black Wizard, and he intimated to me that live band was part of the facet of society in those days. So when you went out, when you went to a dance, it wasn't DJs and all of that. It was live band music.
Yeah, nobody. The DJs sort of filled the void when a live band took a rest in a party. Because you couldn't play all 4, 8, or 9 hours of the party. So invariably the DJs would come on and people would stand up and listen to them and wait for the live bands to come back to play live. So it's sort of the flip. So we started in 1974. We were all students, certainly Don and my other brother Leon and myself, we were students at Presentation College at the time. Most of the other members were still secondary school students, some of them at SAS. In Grenville.
Did you have to say that?
Well, we have to give the roots.
Did he have to say the presentation and the science?
Just to give the sort of the history, the combination, and the variety, right? So we were students, and so it was a band of students, and we came out July the 6th, the first weekend in July of 1974 was our first live performance. And we didn't look back after that, and continued performing from well into the late 90s,
But you're sitting here reflecting on that first performance.
Yeah.
What's going through your mind now?
Well, it was a big moment for us, especially for me. I eventually became the drummer in the band in 1975, and that very first performance, I was the percussionist. So I played congas, and I can still visualize myself at Baines Hall in Grenville, which was one of the most popular party venues at that point in time. I can still visualize myself performing and playing the congas in that first performance, but there are certain moments in life you remember.
Ricky, I mean, you've seen the transition, no doubt. you've seen the transition, the growth as well. What's your thoughts on where the art form is at present?
So I think we've had peaks and troughs, but I think the art form is in a very strong position right now. So we're in what, mid 2000? So I think what has helped is pivoting back to an identity that's uniquely Grenadian. And when I say that, a lot of the artists right now, their music is based of what everyone, I think across the spectrum, both locally and regionally, respect as the jab rhythm. And the fact that Grenadian artists have generally aligned themselves to that rhythm and have committed to projecting and developing that rhythm has given them a unique position within the development of the art form, all right? And I think that has taken the art form to a level it has probably not been at before, and augurs well for the future, because at the end of the day, if you want to make it internationally, you cannot be another one of the same.
Right.
You must have something unique to offer. And that move and that that the Grenadian artists have taken, and you could spend the evening here trying to identify who initiated and who didn't. But I think collectively, when you look at them as a whole, it's generally rooted in the jab rhythm in a way that's unique to Grenada. And I think that has positioned them in a very strong place, and has created great demand for the local artists. I think we see more local artists performing in regional carnivals than ever before in the history of Grenada. For example, I understand that, and I'm subject to correction, but I think the upcoming Tobago Carnival, the feature event on the Saturday, on Carnival Saturday for Tobago, is an event in which the feature act is Mr. Killer. It's his event, it's the feature event. Carnival Saturday in Tobago's upcoming carnival features a Grenadian artist, and I think that's all as well. That speaks a lot. We've just come out of Trinidad Carnival, and I mean, every time I click on social media, I saw Vaughn performing at almost every event, and most of the other artists were down there. Talperry, what's the name? A number of other artists.
So would it be safe if I say that that which we benefited from now, that platform was laid by Moss International, and the way, in the context of the way you were able to harness the talents? Because when you talk about Moss International, I mean, the group, it was always a mixture. It was almost like a melting pot of different types of culture. I mean, you say singing MC, you say Timpo, you've had Lady Forrester. Certainly, those years, they were magical years that can never be forgotten.
Yeah. So Jambalassi rule was a major milestone and a major turning point. We had always experimented, and we never, throughout the years, we never stuck to a generic approach. Don's emphasis as the band leader and the arranger was always about creativity, was always about fusion, was always about trying to identify the local music, the local rhythms. And growing up in Grenville, which is where we grew up, in the late 60s, early 70s, Jab was the predominant factor in carnivals in Grenville at that stage. What we call the fancy mass was never really dominant in Grenville Carnival. So if you participated in carnival in Grenville late 60s, early 70s, you were impacted by jab, and I have vivid images of the large jab bands from Tivoli, from Hermitage, from Lafayette, from Byland, from St. James, and you look forward on Carnival Monday and Tuesday to these bands, huge bands, right, going past your home. And in fact, in the weeks leading up to Carnival, the jab bands would actually do practice runs, right. And so that rhythm, that drum rhythm, as a kid, stuck in my head, and it was always a rhythm that I wanted to learn and that I wanted to play, because I started off my drumming, so to speak, in a cultural group called Alafia. And I remember sitting with the guys in Alafia and say, I want to learn to play this thing. Right? And the guys explained to me, well, you alone can't play it.
So if I ask you to just you have the whole desk in front of you.
I love doing this.
Yeah? So do something for me. Do something.
Continuing that story, the guy said to me, but you alone can't play a jab rhythm. You need 3 drummers.
Right.
Because, and I'm going to use my friend here to help me create the jab rhythm. So the jab rhythm basically consists of 3 drums.
Okay.
Right? So the bass drum, so just go. Right, so there's 1 drum doing that. Right, there's another drum which does this. That's drum number 2. Keep going, and there's drum number 3. So it takes 3 drummers in the goat skin environment.
Right.
It takes 3 drummers to really capture the full jab rhythm. And that was one of the biggest challenges. I spoke a lot about that in the documentary. That was one of the biggest challenges in trying to convert from the goat skin rhythm into the acoustic drum set with guitar and bass and keyboard, right? So getting that to translate that rhythm, those 3 drums, into a comprehensive rhythm with chords and bass lines and all of that and guitar riffs was the biggest challenge we had, because as the drummer, I knew the whole rhythm, and I wanted to play the whole rhythm as a drummer. And Don, I remember Don and I having this argument. I vividly remember. He said, "You alone, you can't play the entire rhythm. You have to leave room in what you convert to the acoustic drum. Right. You have to leave room for the guitar and the bass and the keyboard to do something." And finding that midpoint where I left off some of the beats. So what I eventually did in creating the rhythm was to leave off some of the cuts from what's called the cutter. Right? So I, as a drummer, didn't play all of this. I concentrated on playing, naturally the bass drum and the second drum.
But why do you want to do,
right?
Kareem as a form of initiation? How much would you grade him?
I think he did very well.
He did well.
I gave him the bass drum.
Okay.
Yeah, so we left room, so some of that was played by the guitar, some of that was played by the keyboard, right? To give the fullness of the parts that were done by the cutter, and that's how we captured. If you listen, the entire rhythm for Jambalasi Rule, you would hear all those parts from the 3 drums, but being played by different instruments, and that's the essence.
Folks, you'll hear a lot more of the history as the evening proceeds. Kareem has to go get his medal. He did well as a form of initiation. It must be because of the fact that he's a GBSS boy. I'm not really quite sure, but I will leave that right where it is. I have a question to ask you though, and then I'm going to head up. We'll take a break. I have often argued that the collapse of Labe, when that failed, Labe Festival failed, it brought about a national challenge to that which we know as Carnival. I don't know what your thoughts are, because I always believe that when the Carnival started in Labe and the thing set up there, it basically transcended through the rest of the country. I don't know what your thoughts are. I don't know what Kareem's thoughts are, but I know he's probably going to laugh about that and many other things. We'll take a quick commercial break. Somebody said to me, the Superfly Flint is on the outside. I say, eccentric, isn't it? But he's in the studio, and he promised me that he's not going to fly from any point beyond 10 feet this evening. We are rocking the box on a Thursday night. Your boy JC. Take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back.
Whoa, whoa. Rock the box, we say, yeah. say, arts and culture living, yeah. Rock the box, we say. I'm telling you, rock the box, rock the box, rock the box, we say.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for Grenada to laugh again. Heritage Theatre presents Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024, Saturday, June 22nd and Sunday, 23rd June at the Trade Center in Grandance, and on Sunday, 30th June at the Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime, 7 p.m. every time, featuring some of Grenada's best ambassadors of comedy. Robert White.
I will line up behind the yellow for 9 elections straight. I changed color in time to lose the last election. Why? Because I'm always on the losing side.
Dillion Walters.
Every McQueen I couldn't take. I don't tell Molly didn't know.
Kareem Alexis and other outstanding comedic performances, all coming to knock you off your seats with laughter. Get your tickets now. Bring out the entire family. Tickets are $60. It's time for Spice Laugh Comedy Bash 2024.
The place go flood with laughter.
It's the event you won't want to miss. GIDC Business Deals Day on Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Frequente Industrial Park playing field. Explore the latest products and service offerings from businesses within the industrial parks. Enjoy discounts on GIDC business support services and get fantastic deals on household items, building materials, accessories, condiments, and more with exciting prizes up for grabs throughout the day. But that's not all. Dive into a mini health fair and career expo for valuable health education and employment opportunities. It will be a fun-filled day with eats, drinks, games, deals, and more. Mark your calendars and join the GIDC at Frequente Industrial Park playing field on Saturday, July 13th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. See you there.
This is Ezra the Fun Machine, and I'm calling all revelers, carnivalists, and bacchanalists. Let me tell you, take a loan of $3,000 or more for your costume and pay only $340 per month with God's ready cash. Plus, you get to enter to win your loan back. That's right! Pay $0 down and nothing for the first 30 days. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, pay slip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest God's already cash location today or contact your carnival band for more details. Experience Carnival 2024 with God's ready cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number 1. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Looking for that injection? More vibes and energy, of course. Well, I've got just that. Hi, my name is Gary, Mr. Smooth, and I'm inviting you to join me on the Hot Morning Show on Hot 98.5, 98.7 FM. Weekdays, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 in the morning. I've got a healthy dose of your favorite and most infectious hits sampled with information, news, laughter, and all the other ingredients that go into making the hottest morning show on the radio. The Morning Heat. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit us up on WhatsApp, 435-7517. We've got topics, we've got discussions, calls, voice notes, and so much more. But I can't tell you everything. You gotta tune in. The Hot Morning Show on Hot FM 98.5, 98.7 with yours truly, Gary, Mr. Smooth. Kaboom!
When you all the fed, the food and the music, we'll be talking about everything. When you rock the box, dicey spot. So you want to hear about events and thing. Rock the box, dicey spot. Want to know which music in tongue popping? Rock the box.
Welcome back, aboard JC. Thursday evening, we're coming to you live from our studios up here at Observatory Road, the place that we affectionately call the Icebox. And if you're never really quite sure why it's called the Icebox, one day when you get the opportunity, you are going to find out. Folks, you'll be surprised when we're on our breaks, the sort of conversations, the nature of the conversations that takes place here. But interestingly or otherwise, whatever gets discussed in the studio stays in the studio. What you hear on the breaks, what is spoken during the break stays during the break. But I can tell you though, I want to join the police force. I want to join the police banding specifically. I heard what's inspiring me tonight. I'm listening to Ricky. I'm listening to the Charles's family. Ian is in the studio. My boy Ian, who always tries to duck me, but he's my good boy. Yeah, my brother from another mother. And I keep wondering how come I don't have that musical aspect to me. You know why I can? But then I say I don't need Ian. The man, the super flying Flint, he is on the inside. You got Flint. You got your trumpet with you?
Wow, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I do think no. I don't like this stuff.
Well, actually, trumpet. Yeah, they don't work with actually the trumpet, but you know, the music is there. It is there.
The man, super flying Flint, is on the inside. He's going to keep us company here for the evening. But before we get into that, Kareem, I know you want to get some things out of the way. Yeah? Because I understand that you have the ability, that uncanny, unwavering, unadulterated ability to make people laugh just by doing nothing.
Correct.
You can do that.
You got that right.
So I promise you principles that I'm going to come cash you today. And every time you make me laugh, I'm going to buy a ticket. Yeah?
Okay, so
you have well, Heritage Theater, let's first start before we even get to that, because next thing I get all consumed in laughter and don't remember by myself. So tell me, Heritage Theater, big production coming up. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, the big production on June 22nd, 23rd in the Trade Center. And the following week, June 30th, Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. It's a laughing event, Grenada Spice Laugh Bash comedy here. It's going to be really, really funny, I can tell you. I mean, even rehearsal is on tonight, and I'm missing out because even in the rehearsal right now, it's a lot of fun. I mean, when the group is rehearsing, sometimes I have to go outside because I mean, I don't know, you know, but it's happening. It's happening, and it's a big thing. It's going to be wonderful, I can tell you. Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, yeah. And I'm listening to the producer and director, Mr. DeRiggs. It seems like it is going to be an annual event, right? And it's all local, right? It's all local cast, yeah. Everybody. Grenadian acts throughout, right? Start to finish, you know, it's crazy when you hear, you know, Robert White is there, Dillian Walters, I am there. I'm not a full-fledged member of Heritage, but Mr. DeRiggs invited me. I've worked with them, the group before. A couple years ago, they had the Coconut Bay project. I was on that. I did some stuff with them a couple of Christmases ago, you know. So I'm familiar with all them. I mean, Robert White. I mean, I grew up around this guy, Dillian Walters. You know, we share we share a lot. And a matter of fact, when I started doing theater, it was actually a project in the GBSS where Mr. Dirks came in, and I don't know if you remember that play, Pinky Jackson.
I mean, whenever I think about Dillian, I think about GBSS. And I mean, I can just remember loads of nonsense that just came into this guy's mouth. And in those days, you didn't see a future in it. You thought it was just old talk. I mean, you guys, I mean.
Well, you know, but he's good.
It was good old talk.
Yeah, good, really good. I mean, and fun, you know, fun. And I don't think even back then, any of us realized that it's going to come to this.
True.
You know, we never realized it's going to come to this. I mean, you know, back then they say, well, hey, you're giving jokes and you're laughing on, you know, say somebody say, well, he really stupid, you know, that's all it was. But no, here we are. I mean.
It's interesting though, when I was having a conversation and then somebody said to me back in GBSS, I was always the one that would grab a piece of stick and we want to do an interview. And I'm like, really? I can't remember that. I can't remember that. And then I remember you guys, you remember Walters and those guys, and here we are now. And it's as though almost you're thinking that once you grow up and you find roles and you play different, you perform in different ways, and it's like it makes way for you.
Of course. I mean, in GBSS, apart from the theater, I got involved in Calypso. Remember all of that? We, you know, everything to do with the arts. We got involved, you know, and you know, it just led to bigger things.
Let's take a 5 minutes to beat up on the Ministry of Education. Can never so off you to beat up on them. Arts Festival.
Well, Arts Festival, well,
and the role that it played in helping to shape, and I'm going to say us here. I'm going to say because we were all involved in it in different way, forms, and fashion.
Yeah, Arts Festival. Well, to be correct, I mean it's more. I think the Ministry of Culture. Yeah, that falls under the umbrella. But Arts Festival, I remember I used to look forward to Arts Festival. You know, in school, and I remember Arts Festival when we had remember we were involved in the steel panels as well. And I remember one year Mr. Ashby, you know, banned myself and a couple of others, you know, say there's a band in school, you're not going to play with the community band because we were part of Angel Labs, you know, and it's all part of Arts Festival, and we look forward to that. Been in the steel band, choir, you know, theater and all of that, and all these things really molded folks, you know, to become better at what they do. And now it's, you know, it has been non-existent for a while. Yeah. So now this year they're trying and doing it in stages, which is really welcome. I think they just finished the first phase, you know, and it's really welcome. And I would really like to see, I mean, you know, the Ministry of Culture get full support in getting Arts Festival back, in full room, you know.
I mean, there were so many things that young people could have gotten involved in: poetry, prose reading, drama, on all aspects. The only thing I had a problem with, though, in Arts Festival, I tried to sign up for the choir. Yeah, and I went to the first rehearsals they had, and the guy said, "Congratulations to me, you make it in time for the quiet."
Yeah, that's a part of the back of the auditorium.
Yeah, so I qualified for the quiet. Couldn't make the quiet.
And folks, just to let you know, that's without singing a note, right?
So what happened? They have laughter starts tonight?
Yeah.
So I'm part of the cast then?
Yeah, so you already have to buy 2 tickets.
Let's talk about, I mean, it's no easy feat. It's no easy feat to be on stage to deliver for the general public, whether it is through laughter or through some more serious presentation. But how do into it. The jokes, the deliveries. Is it things you plan them? Do they come naturally? Do you feed off the crowd? Do you see things and you just naturally just play on? Play with words?
Well, to be honest, daily situations make things happen.
Right.
You know, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I'm walking on the Carolina just a few days ago, and I saw a guy just walking, you know, in a manner, and I say, ha, that's my character.
Right.
You know, so things happen, and I listen to call-in programs on the radio. And it's amusing and amazing, you know. So you always could pick something from there. But then, as we spoke earlier on the Arts Festival and the days in GBS and so on, that helped mold you into you know, seeing things as they are now, and you know, taking sometimes it could be a very serious thing, you know. But you always, you know, find a way of putting it lightly. You understand me? Getting the lighter side out of it. I mean, to be honest, I am happy that in a lot of situations I walk into a room or walk into a situation, and I'm happy to be the one to, you know, just nullify everything and
crack a joke, say something.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, people just laugh when they see. When I see you, I just start to laugh.
Yeah. I mean, we had that. Delia and I was standing in town the other day, and a lady said, "Oh my God, both of you together! Oh my God,
trouble
you know, it's like, you know, but it's fun, and you know, we make it happen. We make it happen. I mean, in the show coming up, you would see some, you know, extremely interesting characters. I'm telling you, right? I can tell you there's a piece by Robert, and I'm sure people is going to be crazy. I mean, names you give your children, and it's amazing, you know, the things that has been thought of, you know.
What are some of the names you give your children?
We're not doing the show tonight, okay?
No, I just said we're doing this show. But just recently, Ricky, I was laughing because I'm saying there are some names when you're growing up, you almost knew it was a senior person. You had a name like Matilda and Gertrude.
Yeah.
I just started thinking, but who gave his child this name?
But to be honest, my grandmother, I remember my grandmother's. I used to call her silently, not for her to hear much, but I used to call her Triple A.
Triple A?
Yeah, because her name was Agneta Angelina Alexis.
What? Slow down. Agneta what?
Yeah, Agneta Angelina, you know, and you know, I mean, I'm listening to, I mean, the obituaries the other day, and I heard her name, and I said, my God, as a child, that person must have hated their parents. I mean, to be called that name, I mean, a matter of fact, when that person passes, by the time you call them, they disappear because it's such So they had to, you know, had to have a shortened version for that. And
I guess that's where a lot of nicknames came from.
Yeah, well, that's a
different story. That's a different story. That is a different story.
Yeah.
So, have you any fixed or prescribed character on the evening?
Yes, I'll be doing a piece called.
What's called?
The place go flood.
The place go flood.
Right.
Well, Grandma's flooded the other day. I don't know. I still heard in all of the rain, people on the south were quarreling with Nawasa. And I don't know what Nawasa had to do with that. I saw drains flooded in Grandins.
Yeah.
How Nawasa get involved in that? You're still.
So what do you expected? What do you want? Nawasa to collect the water, or they collected themselves?
I'd say they collect the water themselves. What is the issue?
From the drains?
Listen, not to water your what? So here's what you have your character for the evening, for that event. We're not going to touch into that, but certainly it would be remiss of us if we don't allow lend from another character that you can form. Or maybe how about if I give you a topic? If I give you a topic, can I do that? Can I tease you and see? So if I say politics.
Let's take the chance. You want to put me on the spot, and I don't know how it will work out, but let's take the chance.
Let's go.
Or I mean, I would prefer to do something on my own, but take the chance.
No, you go. Okay, you do something on your own, and then later on we actually going to have some fun with it, because I know some folks have some trumpets. We have trumpet lessons.
Yeah, we have trumpet lessons coming up, and we're going to blow.
Oh, we're going to blow.
Yeah, blow.
So just give us a little piece from what an individual can reasonably expect from Kareem on the evening. Touch it.
You know, that's another ticket, all right? You know, I went to the crazy house, not as an inmate. I went and visit. While I walk up, talking to the security, I see a light flash. When the light flashed in the hot sun, and I turn around, a crazy man come running down the corridor with a sharpened cutlass. If you see that cutlass, sharpened, sparkling in the sun. While I looking at the crazy man and I turn back to talk to the security disappeared. So tell me something. If I gone to the crazy house to visit, talking to the security, spot a man with a sharpened cutlass, the security disappeared, what do you expect me to do? Well, I take her down River Road. And the crazy man coming behind me, because I don't know if he figure I running, so he running too. But he coming behind me with the cutlass and he's mumbling and I running out of my skin. Boy, I run, and when I reach by Steels out there, I make the little turn there, I fall and I slip. And I on the ground, and the crazy man over me with the cutlass in his hand and he trembling. I say all kind of prayer. All the prayers I could remember, I say the prayer. The crazy man look at me. Look, your turn to run me down now.
You know, it's interesting. I'm listening to you, and it reminded me a couple of years ago, a lot of years ago, I went to the newsroom to cover an event they were having at the Randoon unit, and I saw this lady, and at one glance, Ricky, she seemed normal, well presented. She spoke, seemed well polished. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. But the first thing she did, she asked me, what's my name? I was quite conscious enough to tell her, I gave her Levi's name. Levi and I was up there. May his soul rest in peace. She says, what's your name? No, my name is Levi, but me making joke with nobody. So she's talking, and she's like, and she gave me the story. So why are you here? Are you visiting somebody? No. And she's going on, why are you here? And then she's giving me the story. She's been here for 10 years. She didn't do nothing. Ricky, she said she didn't do nothing. All she know, 10 years. They pick her up. And she up in the Randoon unit. At that point in time, I was like, okay. Because she looks normal. But when she got to the point of telling me, 10 years she up there. I thought she was visiting. Yeah. She didn't do nothing.
Well dressed, speaking eloquently.
And when we're leaving now, we weren't leaving. She's calling, Levi! Wait, don't me ain't turning around. So Levi turns around, and he's all suspect. But how is this crazy woman mentally challenged? Sorry, lady. Of course, we have to appreciate you can't. We live in a modern world. Mentally, how she knows his name? I don't know, bro. And she's calling Levi. I pick up speed, walking in front, and if she and Levi having a conversation. Folks, that was Kareem Alexis. What was Granny's name again? Triple A?
Yeah, Triple A.
Triple A.
Yeah, Triple A. Yeah.
Granny still alive?
No, unfortunately. May her soul rest in peace. She passed away in 2005.
May her soul. You need prayers, Kareem. Yeah. We'll take. Remind us, because next time we get totally intoxicated in the humor, the laughter of the event. So again, remind us when, where, and what is the event?
Right. So, Spice Laugh Comedy Bash, Grenada Trade Center, the 22nd and 23rd of June. And the 30th of June at Deluxe Cinema. And all the shows start at 7. And it's actually, the show is $100, but we're paying $40 for everybody. So you're just paying $60 for the ticket. Right, so only $60, the rest is subsidized, as they would say. Yeah. and thank you so much to the sponsors who, you know, absorb that cost. Yeah.
You laugh at that. Folks, you take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Ricky's still on the inside. He'll give us more. We are going to lend our ears to some of the music as it is. I want to say a special good evening to Mr. Adams. He's actually locked in. You know who follows Rock the Box all the time? Mr. Jeremiah.
Mr. Dominic Jeremiah.
Mr. Dominic Jeremiah.
Oh, okay,
You'll be probably surprised.
Hey.
And they started wondering, well, Joe. They're just looking for the laughter and the relaxation. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we are going to lend our ears to some of the music, and we get our musical instruments out. We get our bungee rope, because we jump in and we fly in, we blow in our flutes all at the same time. That doesn't sound right, does it? But either way, it's probably going to happen either way. Quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
If you change your course, there could be paradise. Why strangle the hopes by trying to build on lies?
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
EC Polymer Notes, our new money.
Here's how you can detect genuine EC polymer notes. Feel. Polymer notes feel smoother than the material from which paper notes are made. Also, the front of each note has raised bumps at the top left-hand corner. These bumps form shapes that are familiar to you. Look for the clear window at the front and back of each note. This window allows you to see through the notes. If you hold the notes up to the light, you'll see the value of the note in an area of plain colored print. Tilt. A holographic foil is on the $100, $50, and $20. The images move and their colors change when you tilt the notes. Remember, detecting genuine EC polymer notes is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Feel, look, and tilt.
EC Polymer Notes. Cleaner, safer, stronger.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. Refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic. Walk with your reusable shopping bags and help protect pure Grenada from plastic pollution. A message from the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
Mr. mentioned at the wing kai, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and YouTube channel for We Culture.
No, that's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Who does man of the party? Tell them it's 4-7 trade. Shout it, let them know where we represent 4-7 trade. Who's the body's passing? 4-7 trade. They're not crazy like
wait to see my granddaughter.
finance no passing the yard. We working for little money. You take it back as you give me. You entry a bossy tea. I know you kill me with the dead lady. We vex, we don't vex him down thing. We talk, we don't talk same damn thing. We walk, we don't walk same damn thing. We pay, we don't pay same damn thing.
Welcome back, folks. It's about JC. Peace and love to you. I've always said, and growing up as a child, my mother always said to me, son, if you were not there, your name wasn't going to call. Politicians don't pass me yard and promise me nothing. I wouldn't have nothing to talk about. So, folks, don't blame me if I decide, whether by impulsively or otherwise, to say things that happen. You don't come in my yard during junior campaign, I wouldn't say what you promised me. Listen. I don't want anybody to call my name. I don't want to be held accountable for this. Yeah. I just want to say now, the views expressed in the song does not in any way represent the views of the GBN, but blame Ricky and the entire Charles family. Listen, guys, listen. Show the video up. In its original format. Slow key.
They want some action. Nothing positive going on.
Okay, all of a sudden.
What it be? Like the password is kill we.
Guys, you stop with us?
Side on the increase. The drug trade is big business.
Okay, maybe they are. Okay. Touch the volume.
Yeah, they wouldn't have say, oh, me want that. Stop passing me yard. You want to make it. That's all. You forget it's a hospital.
Yes, you can.
Get down to roots. Remember we tradition. For this Kambule, Jambalasi ruling this time. Yes, we everywhere, taking it from the grapevine. We breaking all rules with fun, picong, and rhyme. If the campaign didn't pass in the yard, they wouldn't have say, oh, me my bad most okay, don't pass in the yard. You say to make it better.
Take us through it. I mean, it seems just comical just by virtue of listening to it.
Yeah.
And the message in the music, I mean, it's either you know or you don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
Either you know or you don't know. So the campaign didn't pass my yard, DJ Cement,
yeah.
I mean.
So Jab traditionally was about what's going on in the community. Picong, about what's going on in the community. So in preparation for this song, we did quite a bit of research, and we wanted to make sure we included as much of the tradition as possible. And an important part of the song, which unfortunately has not, the current artists have not focused on, is what's called the jab spelling, right? And it's an interesting way of jab doing pun on words to land the message of the Picong while at the same time being pretty colorful and discreet about it. So Jambalasi Rule is a political commentary and spoke about the political situation that existed at the time the song was released. So a lot of it is based on factuals and things that happened, right? And I don't wish to expand on much of it, but the very simple one, the government at the time had just launched an austerity measure, if you may want to call it so, which included a combination of taxes. So, for example, if you listen to the lyrics, it speaks about how do you spell economy, right? Economy. So George Brizan was the Minister of Finance at the time. So the spelling for that is, how do you spell economy? So the spelling is they breeze your muma, they breeze your pooper, and kill them with 13 taxes economy. Right? So it's a way of saying this was the government's version of what economics were about. So it's those. We had to find the traditional people within the various communities, and there was one guy, I don't remember his name, from St. James, who I can see him now, who was very helpful in helping us to understand the culture and the format of jab spelling, so that we could then recreate it and include it in the song. So there are a lot of examples of jab spelling within the song. And I think it's a part of the culture which I would love to see more emphasis being placed on if you seriously want to talk about retaining the jab culture and protecting it. Because the music, the lyrics, the jumping, the pigment on the skin on Juve Morning, and the shell and the hat and everything, that's all fine, that's good. But that piece, that cultural piece, I think is a piece that I'm worried is dying and needs some emphasis.
Why do you think though that is so?
I don't know. I don't think people have been conscious of it, and I don't think the real traditional jab bands, and I keep referring to the villages that I grew up knowing it from, Lafayette, Tivoli, Hermitage, St. James, Bylands. As a youngster growing up in St. Andrews, those were areas, those are traditional jab bands that would come true, right? And those were, and I consider that the core of the jab at the time. But how, I think the Lafayette, Ian through his Jambalasi movement is doing a lot of work with the Lafayette jab, Ian, I'm correct? And that's an area I would love to see them emphasize on and try and do the research and continue that tradition. But I don't think a lot of people just focus on coming and have the jump, and the actual cultural aspect of it, we need to pay some attention to it, or else it could be lost.
You lose your culture, you lose your way in life?
Yeah.
How far down the road are we though?
I don't think it's lost.
It's not lost?
No.
Just dissipated in some...
Just a little more emphasis, a little more focus, because when we started it, we knew nothing about... We just knew of it. We didn't understand the dynamics of it, but the guys at the time were able to help us.
I'm going to head over to in just a few minutes, though. But there have been some landmark individuals along the way, the likes of the singing MC, who has helped, and Timpo, who have literally helped to push that era.
Yeah.
Take us down that road.
Yeah, so I mean, so Jambalassi was a landmark event, but I think Moss and the contribution to culture and carnival, there are a lot of the names you mentioned there have brought a lot more to carnival than just Jambalassi. And I say just, I don't want to belittle Jambalassi, but when we start, our first venture into Calypso tent was 1977, 78, I believe, when we had a tent called Super Tent. And we did work with Timpo, a guy called Wedo, who unfortunately has passed, and I want to speak a little more about him. Darius, Pele, Randy Isaac joined us when we crossed over into the 80s and we started Calypso Castle. But guys like Timpo were very creative and innovative Calypsonians who, along with the guys, well, those are the St. Andrew's crew, our crew. But along in parallel with work that was being done at the time with guys like from We Tent in St. Paul's, they took the music to a much higher level during that era. All right, Flying Turkey spearheaded the We Tent, and Flying Turkey and Timpo were schoolmates at a certain school.
No, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
I just wanted to get to front you.
You can share.
So they nurtured their skills at the GBSS hostel when they were both boarding students at the hostel back in the day, and those were two guys who came out of that GBSS hostel thing and took the Calypso to a different level. All right, and we had the pleasure of being able to work with Timpo, who was always a guy willing to be creative and not just stick to traditional melodies and traditional music formats. And when Timpo won the King and when he won the Road March in that year, it was not anything of. It was not the typical traditional Calypso melodies and structure.
I heard there was some interesting stories.
Yeah. So Timpo had We Want to Carnival and Mr. Preacher Man, and those are two iconic songs. Unfortunately, the recordings for those songs were lost during the fire at GBN in the invasion, I believe. Darius, his brother, joined us in Calypso Castle, and Darius came along with a song that was very, very powerful at the time, very popular. People playing their ass. Again, a pun, but a nice play on words. Very popular song. But one of Squeezy was another Calypsonian who started with us, and again was very creative and allowed us to be very creative with him. And I mean, one of my favorites, going back to Squeezy, and I remember telling him that a couple months ago when we launched our 50th anniversary, a song called Soca Bonita, right? Because we took up the challenge of this was a song about a young girl from Venezuela who came to Grenada Carnival. And my brother Don decided if we're going to sing about Venezuela, the music has to have a strong Spanish influence.
Right.
And therefore, he tasked me, I always remember that, with going and find the Spanish radio stations that were feeding it, that we used to hear from Venezuela, what we used to call pile stations, and listen to some Spanish music and try and understand the rhythms so that I could bring that influence into what we provided for Squeezy with Soca Bonita. And if I may dare say, it ended up being a very, very successful song. So Moss was always interested in innovation, in not just sticking to traditional rhythms, but always at the cutting, pushing to get all the influences in. We went through an era, 90s, when we paid a lot of attention to the French influence on music in Grenada. A lot of zouk, as you know, Grenville is commonly known as L'Abbé, from the whole history of Grenada with the French and back into English, but L'Abbé being the local name for Grenville. we did a lot of work in trying to reflect that French influence in the music. And quite a number of our tracks, our successful tracks in the 90s, had that strong French influence. So while Jambalasi was an iconic moment, there's a lot more variety to the music
that stemmed from it,
that Moss has produced over the years. One of our more popular regional songs was a song called Too Hot. I'm not sure if Ian might be able to help you stream that here tonight, but a strong Spanish Latin influence, and that did very well on the regional scene, made the charts in Trinidad. The video was very popular on TTT, and in fact, my greatest pleasure with that song and memories of that song is that song made it onto what was then BWE playlist, which is now Caribbean Airlines. So you know when you're on the airlines, there's music that can be streamed.
Right.
And the playlist for BWE, Too Hot, made it onto that playlist, which to me was...
Which was Better Walk If Able.
Yeah?
Better Walk, the acronym. Better Walk If Able.
British West Indian Airways. So our music over the years has had a lot of variety and was filled with a willingness to experiment and to push the boundaries.
Indeed.
And I dare say that I think quite a lot was achieved, quite a lot of regional recognition was achieved for Grenadian music through that influence.
I know there's so much that we can talk about.
Yeah.
I just want to wrap with you. And, we are celebrating, and there's a number of events that that is part of that celebration. 3 major ones, though.
Yeah. So Moss is celebrating 50 this year, and we've deliberately scheduled the 50th anniversary celebration for the historic start of the band, which was that first weekend in July. So we have 3 major events around the early July, and we're bringing back a lot of the original members of the band that are coming home for that. Over the years, the membership of the band, evolved. There was the hardcore of the 3 brothers, and a lot of people revolved around that. But some of the original members, Tom King, the trombonist, Adrian Naldi, one of our early lead singers, Agnes, of course, is here. All these guys are coming home to be part of the celebration. So we're also gonna capture some of the members who were in the band in the mid 80s and 90s are also gonna be part of the celebration. So 3 major events. The very first event is July 6th at the Deluxe Cinema, where we will do a Calypso Castle reunion. Calypso Castle was an iconic tent, and I may dare say the standards that we achieved with Calypso Castle in terms of the quality of the shows are yet unparalleled and we're going to try to recreate that atmosphere. We have some of the former kings of the castle, as we always call them. Black Wizard is going to be there, Randy Isaac, Squeezy, Doggies, Leon Antoine, just some of the names that come to mind who are actually coming back to be part of that reunion. We then move to the following weekend, the following Saturday, the 13th of July, where we have an event at Pier 57. It's a food inclusive gala dance and party and Moss Live, we call it, and that's going to feature music across almost the entire spectrum of the band, for music from the 70s right through to the 90s. We're going to take you back in time to some of the songs that you partied to with Moss over the years, and then on Sunday the 14th, what a lot of people remember Moss for is being a live band performing on the streets on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. So we're going to recreate that atmosphere, and we're actually having a street party, as we used to call it then, a street jam in Grenville on Sunday the 14th. So, those are the 3 major events. But street party, Sunday the 14th in Grenville, we actually want to do not just a stationary, but a jump through the streets of Grenville as we did back in the day in Carnival. A lot of people looked forward to Moss being on the road, both in Grenville and St. George's. Don't ask me how we did it, but we did both Carnival in Grenville and St. George's, and both Carnival Monday and Tuesday, as well as Juve. All right, but I guess when you're young, you have a lot of energy.
You have a lot of energy.
So
yeah.
street party Sunday the 14th in Grenville, Moss Live at Pier 57, food inclusive event, and then Calypso Castle reunion the 6th of July, Deluxe Cinema, which is where it was the home of the Calypso Castle.
Indeed.
We look forward to all the patrons, young and old, even these youngsters who probably would not have had the opportunity to attend a good Calypso tent. We invite you to come out and see what Calypso tent was like back in the day, right?
And I guess we can always safely say, Ricky, that of course that period has given rise to some of the younger generation we have now. They fly from, they do all sorts of things that you guys may not even think about doing. A lady on social media says, when I said super fit this year, she said he kissed her somewhere and he sent her into shock. I'm not going to ask the details of that.
Don't ask the details, no.
I'll leave that there. It's on social media. So she said it, she posted it. I'm only repeating it. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to clear the area. And the man's super flying Flynn is on the inside. He'll tell us about the wardrobe, the hairstyle, and exactly how he came up with that trumpet vibes. We'll be right back, guys.
This is a plastic bag. From February 1st, these bags are not to be used when shopping for food. So here's what you should do. Refuse plastic. Instead, bring your own reusable shopping bags and say goodbye to plastic. Choose to refuse plastic. Walk with your reusable shopping bags and help protect pure Grenada from plastic pollution. A message from the Ministry of Climate Resilience.
Mr. mentioned the wing kai, then you have things like Manumos, Force Combat, you know. We have the low power there.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake, I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page and YouTube channel for We Culture.
Diabetes now is so prevalent that if we're not careful, we might be one of the last generations to live longer than our parents and grandparents because it's shortening our lifespan.
Learn about prevention, how it is treated, and how we can live with diabetes in our communities. Join us on Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Coming up, it's a summer of style as top designers and their creations hit the catwalk with the Caribbean twist. The World Cup has rolled into town with on-field excitement and beyond-the-boundary thrills in Trinidad and Tobago. Getting married? Honeymooning? Barbados is your top option for an eventful experience. It's Caribbean Passport right here on this station.
That's not how you cross the pedestrian crossing.
Really? One day I just woke up and I saw pedestrian crosswalks on the road. No one really showed me how to use them properly.
Well, this is how it's done. You never cross before doing these things. They might save your life. First, when you get to the crosswalk, you stop. You look left, you look right. If there's a vehicle coming, you put your hand out, making eye contact with the driver, indicating that you want to cross. And only when the vehicle comes to a complete stop, you quickly cross to the other side.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact. Wait for pedestrian to cross to the other side, then you happily continue on your journey. This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
I want you to control your anger. There's a way to feel better. That's one thing to remember. No matter where you are, you can be a star. Stop and take a deep breath and relax yourself. Take another deep breath and relax it, and relax it. Eliminate violence.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe good driver knows about these things.
I come to free my body. Come to party to wind up on a bouncy. You come to party, I know you're feeling sexy. We come to party, we body feeling hot, hot, hot.
Welcome back, folks. It's your boy AC. I'm coming to you live. Let's look at Pile, one of those Pile stations that Ricky was talking about, those Pile stations from back then. Ricky, Ricky, can we realize you had a Pile station? A long time. What's AM band? That's still raining? Yeah, well, I guess we'll see it in the morning then. It's PM right now. Folks, welcome back. Time is fast spent, and I told you the plan was to take this to 100,000 feet and then crash the whole thing. I'm not sure if he's a ballerina or he just has an appreciation for the finer things of life. I do have to remind him the next time he comes to the studio, I have to order a pair. One of my favorite socks. Allow him to juice it. The man here is in studio. I think he's almost become like a household name. The man is super flying Flint. My brother, comrade, how are you? Welcome to the Icebox.
Yes, rock the box. I'm feeling great tonight.
Let's do this. We're doing this 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Who is the man super flying Flint?
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm from the little sister island of Carriacou, of course, you understand? But we all won. Grenada, Carriacou, Peter Matnick. So definitely, my name is Clint John. And I will say it on the end. Clint Sherman Emmanuel John. I'm the son of gospel. So I do not know if he was in the tent in 1977 when he sang Stand Up There and Feel the Weight of the River. They opened a highway in Granite Town. So I'm the son of gospel, and I'm going to make it clear. So that's why I'm Clint John, Emmanuel John, because that was my father's name. Go by the name of gospel. I didn't want to say right. So definitely I will be in that. So that's a history. Yeah, Grenada. So I'm from Moya. Yeah, Tivoli. Yeah. So I guess a lot of rhythm, but my mom is from Winwood. Yes, so I came from the Winwood, the Patrice, the McDonald. So I'm a bit Scottish. Yeah, but my dad was a policeman at the time, came to Carriacou. Met my mom, married, created me. Yeah.
That's it, what?
Yeah, and that's me. Only Clint, only super fluent.
Let's talk about your musical journey quickly.
Yeah.
When it started, here you are now, literally, you're in every nook and cranny.
Yeah, it started off in the school when I was a young guy. I had like a song called, I think they even saved my dad singing, Cody was the cow, Mr. Dan was the bow bow bow. You know, what's nursery rhyme at the time. So I remember singing that, but at that time, my focus, my mom focus, she was a cook, a baker, everything. So I was more in the kitchen. So as I stand here, I also professional chef, bartender slash. Who knows, you understand? So the career of my singing, because also is an interior and exterior decorator. So I paint also, a lot of talent of me. Right. And I get involved in 1999, by the Stafford, of course, back in the days was Skipper and Clipper and Rhino and Lion, but you have Kim the King, Danjuma, the older guys and them brought me in the tent to teach me Calypso, because I the foundation. It wasn't soca then, but I always used to turn the Calypso into the soca trend, because I also do Calypso, because I love Calypso. And there I started off in 2003. Yeah, I make my debut. I had a song called, I can remember, Don't Touch My Ding-a-ling. I came second in the Soca Monarch. That was my first flu. And Kim the King, I was super flint. But when I flew, them time there was a community set. We didn't have nothing like we didn't have nothing as big stage. Was in a community center.
Hold on. You're going to perform for me. But when you say so you literally...
Yes, there was similar like this, and there was a fan in the ceiling. So I ran and flew up straight and grabbed that fan. But I did land it back on the box of the DJ guys. Yeah, so I made it. I made a journey on, I think on the side, get some little bruises, but I made it. Yeah, I made it, yeah. It's a lot,
I think I can speak for most of the people that's home. They're probably thinking, you know what, we have a rest of our lifetime to get into the details of the man. And we will, as we get deeper into Carnival. Tonight, we just want you to do your due. You just go to party to wind up on a boomsy, and then with all of that, you decide to get your trumpet blown.
That's right. Well, it's really, the woman and them. I heard that woman play the pan, the woman on the bass. You understand? Woman play the guitar. Yeah. Woman play the pan. I jam sing about woman on the pan.
Right.
And I didn't heard none of them talk about woman on the trumpet. I think Scrunter sing trombone, woman on trombone, but the trumpet. And I just decide vision that this year 2024
is your year.
Yeah, it's still, woman should start blowing trumpets,
Well, folks, studio control, you guys, Superfly Fit Grenada, I reintroduced to you the man himself by way of Tivoli to Windward in Carriacou. Take over. Let's do this.
Yeah, and it goes like this. I'm hearing it in the background. I'm hearing the trumpet. Yeah, it goes like this for 2024. Yes. Listen. I thought I was dreaming when I heard sweet music playing. Then I heard my woman saying, "Get up, boy, you there sleeping. Hold me closely, you sexy baby. Jam me and turn me." And she whisper in my ear, "Give it to me, Superman. Give it to me, all that you can. Give it to me, just let it flow. Give it to me, ready to blow. Breathe in, breathe out, to the north, to the south." And then she take the trumpet, super, put it in my mouth and blow. Just blow. Just blow. The trumpet, slow. Just blow. It goes like this. Yes. Feel the vibe, listen. When she started blowing, inside of me tension rising, and I'm foot up in the ceiling. Why she blowing? Are they whining? Hold me closely, you sexy baby. Jam me and turn me. Then she whisper in my ear, "Give it to me, Superman. Just give it to me. I say give it to me. Ready to flow. Give it to me. Ready to blow. Breathe in, breathe out. To the north, she take my trumpet super, put it in my mouth and blow. Just blow. Blow. Oh my gosh, hearing it up. Yes. Just blow. Blow. Cause it go like this. Since I born, I love my trumpet. Not any girl can blow it. You have to have magical lips to blow my trumpet so sweet. Hold me closely, you sexy baby. Jam me and turn me. Then she whisper in my ear, give it to me, Superman. Just give it to me. I said, give it to me. Let it flow. Give it to me. Ready to blow. Breathe in, breathe out. To the north, to the south. Then she take the trumpet super, put it in my mouth and blow. Just blow. Just blow. I said blow. Oh, blow. Blow, blow. Blow. This one is rated R. Thank you. She did blow. Show me your ID.
Well, we're going to do one for everybody. Back and says, Kareem, head back in. Ricky, head back in. We're going to do this one for the road. Another one that's hitting the waves, of course. And I've heard you are going to be headlining in a number of events. What's the plan for? What's your plan for the next couple of as we head deep into the carnival?
Yes, well, a lot of plans for Spice Mass. Definitely, and you see every weekend I'm down here. Just want to say I appreciate very much the Grenadians and them loving me. So, you know, on a lot of shows from, we're talking about Tall Pre, talking about Keela. Just came out in Crave, you understand? On Terror. So that is some of the big stars. And also I'm taking part in Groovy Soca. And most of all, I'm in Rootsman tent. So this year going to be the first time I'll be singing Calypso in Rootsman tent. So I'll be on the island taking part this year. So you understand, I just want to tell my kayaks and them, I'm not abandoning Carriacou, but you know, I'm fluent in Grenada just to enjoy the island.
Indeed. We're taking it. It's all pure entertainment. Guys, we're getting ready to wrap on the inside. Kareem and the entire, everybody's going to head back on. They're going to head back onto the stage. The man, the Superfly Flint is on the inside. Again, reminding you that is all happening as we get ready. We get deeper into Spice Mass. You will be hearing and seeing more of the team from Jab Malassi. They're going to be on the inside. Kareem and the rest of the gang is going to be on the inside. My boy Ian is going to be here with us. And we'll be hearing a lot more. If you out there, you're a young artist, and you have a song, feel free, give us a call, or give me a call, honestly. And 456-3454, and we can at least arrange for you to be here on Rock of the Box. Is what we do. And of course, we've seen over the years the growth of so many of our local artists here at the GBN. And when we say we've had the likes of, I mean, you see them. You remember the days of Tal Pre on the Carnage doing Spice Up the Carnage. You remember those days and didn't realize, I mean, we provide a platform here for all for you Grenadians so that you can be part of the conversation. We're getting ready to wrap. Kareem, remind us again what's happening, where is happening.
Spice Love Comedy Bash, 22nd, 23rd, Grenada Trade Center, 7 o'clock. June 30th, Deluxe Cinema. Same time, 7 o'clock. $60 gets you in. All right, big up to the sponsors. Big up to GBN. Always giving the plug. Yeah, and Heritage Theater it is. With the director, Mr. Chris DeRiggs. So you got to be there, Grenada. It's a lot of fun.
Ricky, remind us, you have 3 major events as you celebrate 50.
Three major events as we celebrate 50. So in collaboration with our the Moss Next Generation, which is Jambalassi, Grenada, and C4 Promotions. We have Calypso Castle Reunion on July 6th at the Deluxe Cinema. Moss Live, Pier 57, July 13th. And Moss on the Street Party, July 14th and on the streets of Grenville. So we look forward to all our fans, and as well as the next generation who have not had the opportunity to party or jump with Moss. We invite you to join us at all 3 events. Calypso Caster Reunion, July 6th, Moss Live, July 13th, Pier 57, Street Party, July 14th on the streets of Grenville.
And you might just be surprised that those parties that's going to be taking place in Grenville, they may just see it live on GBN. You just never know. You just never, ever know. Folks, all good things must come to an end. The conversation has to evolve. I am now going to throw the thing over. Listen, I want to tell you all on stage, we live, man. If you know you're going to stand, but you're going to stand up stiff, leave now, right? So Ricky's going to remind us of his early days up in Granborough. Kareem still has it in him, and all you all have to do is to follow his lead. Folks, let's do it. Last lap, I hand it over to the man, Superfly and Flip.
So Kareem, I must say, I had the opportunity to perform with your dad in 1978, the very early days of the 10th in St. Andrews, and so it's a pleasure to meet the next generation of the Calypso tradition from St. Andrews.
I feel good when I heard it.
Yeah. So gospel sound, we back the gospel back in 77, I think it was. Yeah.
Are you bad?
Yeah, man.
History lesson. You see what happens when we round the box on a Thursday night?
Find the music because they already.
Yeah. A lot of that music was destroyed when the radio station was burned in 1983.
Folks, you got to do the Superfly and Flip. He's gonna take us home. What are you taking us home with?
It's a woman.
Whatever they give you.
Have a party.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's go.
Yes. And I know Carrie know it. Yes, we bouncing. Pump, it. Yes. Whoa, yo, yo. Whoa, yo, yo. Whoa, yo, yo. We body on fire. Whoa, yo, yo. Like we catch it. We just want to jam. I don't know about you. I start to buy to this soca. The place turn over. Party love. We come to party to free our body. We come to party to wind up on our pussy. Listen, I come to party. I know you're looking sexy. I come to party, my body feeling hot. Tell them party with energy. Party so they can see. Party if you're feeling happy. Party like we go. Party, I come to free my body. I come to party to wind up on our pussy. I come to party. I know you're looking sexy. I come to party. Got my body feeling hot. Tell them it goes like this. I will not flew, but I'm feeling the way that was moving. Whoa, yo, yo. Whoa, yo. Adrenaline flowing and me bloody. Then they call me over. Lord, we take the risk. We just want to jam like a leg. I start to buy to this the place. Somebody say, I come to party to free our body. I come to party to wind up on our pussy. Listen what we gonna do. We make a little chip right up in front there. Just easy, you know. We going like this. Grab me body. Let me go. Party with. We go like this. Yeah. Are we going back now? Let me go back. We going back. Good job. You know we gonna treat so too. Let me go. It's like soccer. Let me chip back some carry. You know the drill. You know the drill. Tell them. Warm we are warm. Jambo last year we go be on the road. So you have to be fit. You understand?
Party getting hotter.
Whoa, yo, yo.
Jamming one another.
Whoa, yo, yo.
So much of pressure.
Whoa, yo, yo.
Sweating like rainwater.
Whoa, yo. When the music.
Passy.
Whoa.
None so wassy.
When the music. It goes like this.
Whole place turn over.
I start to buy to the place. Somebody say. I go to. I just sit in. I'm behaving. Got my body feeling. Tell them. Wow, it's nice. Been happening at the GBN. Boom! I come to free my body. I come to wind up on her. I come to I know you're looking. Somebody say, got my body feeling.